Hey y'all, it's Jamie. Welcome back to my channel, Cottage Hodgepodge, where I share with you what I sell in my eBay store. I have vintage and modern items that I've sourced through garage selling, estate sales, flea markets. This is the week of December 12th through 18th, and my total sales were $220.96, and my cost of goods was $15.43. So the first item to sell this week was this adorable and tailored tweed skirt. I loved this skirt. I wish it fit me. It was, my description was Ann Taylor loft tweed, black, white, gold, heavy weave, straight skirt lined 90s Y2K. And it was so very Y2K. I love, love, love this skirt. It definitely reminded me of one that I would have worn in high school. This is one that I purchased at the thrift store near me where they sell clothes for 45 cents on Tuesdays. And it sold during a 30% off sale for $18.76. I had it listed for $26.80. That was so bad. Next up is a Stein. This is a vintage pewter lidded beer stein made in Germany, 9.5 inches tall. My husband bought a lot of Steins and paid around $3 for each of them, and this one sold for $25. Next is a cassette tape. This came in a lot of items where the person who owned the home where they were doing the estate auction was a school teacher and taught in multiple countries. It seems like from the items that we purchased, it seems like it was two sisters who were school teachers and they traveled and taught English, we presume. And they had really great items from China and some from Europe. And then a bunch of school teachery type items. I've sold some chalkboards and other fun things that they had. And this was in a lot of stuff that I think I paid $1 for the entire lot of like office supplies. And this was a Jungle to Jungle Tim Allen cassette tape soundtrack of the movie that came out in 1997, and I just found it amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, my cost has to be 10 cents probably for that item, if even that. There were so many things in that lot. So I've sold this one. I took a best offer of $4. I probably would not pick up any cassette tapes on purpose. This one was just a fun little bonus find. Next is a vintage Pyrex Scroll 444 Cinderella 4-quart mixing bowl, promotional from 1959. I really like the Scroll bowl. It's unique, but not super valuable. This one was one that I've had for quite a while since I closed my vintage or my booth in the antique mall here locally. And so it's been sitting in my home for quite a while. So I think if I remember correctly, I paid $6 for it back in the day, and I sold it for $28 on a best offer that I accepted. Next is another sale of my husband's. This is a Texas Rangers helmet, full-size Rawlings batting helmet. It's the logo on it is from 86 to 93. So it was a fun little like souvenir item that we thought somebody would probably put in a man cave, but we actually had several questions like on the size of it. Like somebody was actually considering wearing it. I guess we had 2 or 3 people ask us what the size was, and we couldn't find a size anywhere on it. So we just, told them the measurements, and somebody finally purchased it for the full price he had listed it for, which was $60. So that was a great little sell. He paid, I think, $5 for that item. Next is a sell where somebody bought 2 of these plates. These were from the same auction as the cassette tape. The ladies who were the school teachers who traveled, apparently they were in Greece at some point because there were quite a few Grecian items also. I forgot to mention that. So there was this plate and this one, and they both sold to the same person. So this first one is the description: vintage, handmade, hand-painted Parthenon textured plate, Athens, Greece, 10.5 inches. And you can see in some of these other pictures that it had quite a bit of texture in the plate itself in the design. So that one sold for $18.80. My cost was under $1. This one was also handmade and had some nice texture to it. And this one actually sold for $28.80. I don't know why I had such a different pricing structure. I guess maybe I didn't list them at the same time, and this is what I found on each of them for comparable prices. But this person went ahead and paid the 18 for this one and the 28 for this one. So that worked out for me. And I was able to combine shipping and give them a little bit of a refund on their shipping. So that's always nice. Next is a Rooster cross stitch, which I listed as needlepoint. I sold one of these last week. And so on that video, I was saying that I think that they actually were cross stitched. There's quite a few of these that I've picked up from a couple of different estate auctions. And I listed them all as needlepoint because at the time I thought that's what they were. But I'm pretty sure that cross stitch is the correct term for the way that these are made. And this one was a rooster. It had olive branches and fleur-de-lis design, and it was 16 by 16, so it's a nice big one. And so I sold one last week and one this week. And again, this says 3 sold, but that's not correct. There was one order that was canceled. So I had 2 total, and I sold them both. This was also from the auction lot where the 2 ladies who were school teachers and sisters auctioned off both of their estates one weekend and then the next. So we bought a bunch of items at the first auction and then several more at the second. It was fun to see like the same items in both auctions. And both of these items I bought in one lot. I didn't buy one weekend and one the next. But a lot of their things were duplicates. So it was like both the sisters, I guess, never married or whatever, and spent all their time together. It really seems like it's been very interesting to go through their things and kind of learn about them. I've really enjoyed that with a couple of different estate sales and places that I've gone to kind of learn about the lives that these people lived. And it's really neat to go through their things and to give them new life. I hope that the things that I sell, go to a good home where people really enjoy them and give them new life. So last for today is an ornament from the Firefighter lot that I purchased. This is another one where this was an estate sale. It wasn't an auction. So we went to the house and, it was enjoyable to go through and see all the things that they had collected throughout their lifetime. And this particular person was the fire chief of a local town here close by to us. You could see on some of the ornaments, it was, labeled fire chief and had his name on them and stuff. Those I'm not able to resell. So I went ahead and donated them. Maybe somebody will find a good use for them. But it was fun to see how he collected all these things throughout the years as the fire chief in his town. And I'm sure a lot of them were gifts to him from people around him. So that's pretty neat. So this one, I sold actually the same exact one last week. There are quite a few duplicates in that lot. And it's funny, this happened twice in a row. So that needlepoint and this one sold last week, one sold this week. So I don't know if items get more attention when there's the last one available, or when one sells out of the multiple quantity available items, but it happened twice this week. So that's it for this week. Again, my total sales were $220.96 and my cost of goods sold was $15.43. So my take home will actually be around $120 after considering the eBay fees and the money set aside for income tax. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next week in my next video. If you like content like this, I'd love it if you would give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much.